Columbia, South Carolina. A woman is just put in jail for the rest of her life. She's in her 40s and she hired a 17-year-old teenager to go and kill her husband. And he went and he killed the husband's brother. He killed the wrong person in error. How do you get good help anymore? Now, we have the NDP in Canada. NDP, of course, stands for Communist Socialist because that's what they are. They want to take all of the nerves away from the citizenry and we'll think for you because you're not smart enough and so on. I'm rambling a little bit. Let's go back to this. What they're saying is, if we get elected and the polls say we're going to get elected, we're going to form the next government, wow, won't that be fun? We get to implement a plan that we've been working on for a long time. We're going to create millions and millions of child care spaces across Canada. And the plan will only cost $5 billion. Well, firstly, it'll cost a lot more than $5 billion because there'll be a way out to lunch with regards to their budget. And secondly, who are these people? I mean, they really think that we're too dumb to look after our own children because where are they going to get the money from all, for that, the $5 billion, the $10 billion, the $20 billion, what it'll end up really costing? It comes from us anyway. And now they're saying, we're going to look after your children? Really? You really want these idiots babysitting your children? We're led by stupid people now. I mean, this would be being led by insane people. We're going to look after your children? We're going to put together this national thing? I mean, excuse me, I want to leave the room and throw up for a minute or two and then come back and start over again. That is horrible stuff. I just hope they don't get elected. I hope the people can figure out what's going on here with people like that. Canadian taxpayers now are the only shareholders of Canada Post. This is, again, coming from the NDP. The leader of the NDP party is saying this, okay? Then he goes on to say this, sit down. We are elected on a platform, and we are allowed to bring in legislative plans that would allow us to put that into effect if that were necessary. But before going that route, we would make sure that there are no other possibilities to ensure that the clear will of the government will be carried out. And if required legislation is changed, it would be legislative change, but we would ask for all aspects before necessarily going down that route. What do you think that means? I mean, I am so confused. I got a little bit of a headache here. And then it goes on again to say that we Canadian people, we're the shareholders, the only shareholders of Canada Post, and Canada Post made $194 million last year. As a shareholder, I guess I should go get my mail. Do you think there'll be a check there for me? Socialist, Ontario, Canada. Their population is about 1/3 of California's. We all know about California. California can't afford to pay attention. They are in so much trouble. They're so left-wing. They have messed everything up that you could possibly think about messing up. They've been spending other people's money for decades, and they are in serious trouble. They're teetering on bankruptcy. In fact, they're kind of dead already. It's just nobody's pushed them over. Back to Ontario with 1/3 of the population. Guess what? They have more than double the debt of California. They're twice as bad as California. 2 times worse than California. Gun production in America, old Commie, he's the best salesman that there's ever been in the gun business. It's more than doubled. Under President Okamie's regime, gun production has spiked 140% just this past year to the tune of 10.8 million firearms that were produced just in America. 7 years ago, the Harper government in Canada, a lot of Canada talk today, they made a lot of promises to get elected, right? But 7 years ago, one of the promises was, we're going to fix the military, particularly the Navy, because they don't have any ships and we're going to do that. Well, they haven't done it. I mean, there's no ships. I mean, there's some marinas rigging red power boats that could probably beat the Canadian Navy in war, or they could even beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't think they could. So it needs to be fixed. And an election is coming, and now you have the Conservative government out there giving money away to everybody. They just did the child bonus thing. I mean, soon it'll be their idea as well to set up a babysitting thing that's nationalized across the country. I wish they would take a position of right. Don't you all think it's time? Right. Wouldn't that be great? Hey, y'all come back tomorrow. We're going to have more for you from the right. See ya.